And I think the umpiring issue that one of our viewers pointed out here, of course, there's a lot to be said, but prima facie, it looks like it was out. The only issue was with the manner in which, despite there being a deflection, the umpire went to the sneako, then the sneako did not have anything. So that's, of course, created a lot of outlet for Indian fans as well to vent out. But the focus has to be on the Indian cricket team. What's your opinion about what's happening right now?
Thank you so much for having me, Ashish. And first of all, it seems like I'm going to go on ad nauseum about the same thing, that we need to make our changes. We need to, like the tagline of this program says, who'll bail the cat? I've been telling them even before the series started, we had a program before the series started. And I said the biggest carry-ons in this series will be Rohit Sharma. And I was proven right again. And not only me. See, guys, it was all of us were proven right. We all knew it. We all knew it was going to happen. We all knew in the first match we missed, and second match him coming in for third match coming in for Shubhman Gill, destroying a good batting partnership. In fact, Shubhman Gill is somebody who's going to be giving you something for the future. Now tell me, Ashish, if you had suppose a very young team like the gentleman before us said, Sarfraz Khan, Shubhman Gill and all these boys, and they lost, you would have said, okay, fine, they've learned. They've not lost, they've learned, because in the next time this is going to prove them right. These guys are not going to have a next tour. So we not only not won, okay, we've lost badly. On top of that, we're not prepared for the future. So we've destroyed our future series as well. Because in the last series, if you remember, where we won, we took all new young bloods. They are the ones who made us win. They are the ones who are prepped for this series. Like now, just Jaiswal is prepped for the next series. But Shubman Gill is not. Because you made the best batsman in the world sit out. For who? Right. For Rohit Sharma, who failed in Indian wickets against New Zealand, who's never scored a century in test matches in Australia, who has been failing again and again. Just because he's won the T20 World Cup doesn't mean you give him a test.
But Ranjit, also, let's talk about Virat Kohli here. I mean, Virat Kohli, yeah. I've heard him say that he's avoided butter chicken for 10 years. What's it going to take for him to avoid the off-stump line? I mean, it's 2014 to 2024. A similar mode of dismissal. Every single bowling attack in the world knows that you just keep bowling that 4th, 5th, 6th stump line and Virat Kohli is going to nick one. And it's been happening ever since then.
And you're so right. Every bowling attack in the world, it doesn't take a decade to know that. Now, if you have one match, you have an analyst going at it and dissecting your every batting move. They have going at it and making sure they have videos of you playing even the county match if possible for other batsmen. So obviously, Virat is probably the most studied batsman by opposition and analysts in the whole world. Every even little weakness he has would have been pointed out. There is, I hope everyone knows, and they should, that there is nowadays cricket has gone so far in an international match, there's a game plan for each and every over which it's not like, when we play Sunday cricket, okay, jahan marzi bowling kar lijo, padgi, that kind of thing. If for each batsman, they're supposed to bowl in a particular area because they've worked out his weaknesses. So like you said, even Ashish, you bowl the 4th, 5th, 6th stump, he will be poking at it. And he's not been able to fix that. So unless and until he's proved that he has fixed that, even he's great, he shouldn't be allowed because his weakness is known. Now, the same way, when you have a new batsman, he does very well. He doesn't do very well in the next series because he's found out by everybody else. The newness goes. But someone who's able to perform again and again is a legend. Where if somebody's weakness is found out and they're failing again and again in the same weakness, then who are the ones to be blamed?
But one of those batsmen whose weakness hasn't really been found out, but for some reason he continues to struggle, is Rishabh Pant. And Vedam Jaishankar, I want you to elaborate more on this. Now, Rishabh Pant is an enigma. He attacks when you don't expect him to. He falls for it. He then plays slow innings like he did today, looks solid, and suddenly out of nowhere he tries to take on Travis Head, which was clearly a cookie, a candy that was being given to him to go for it and then fall for it, and he fell for it. But the problem here is that he's continued to get starts. He doesn't look like he has any sort of a weakness as such in his defense or in his attack, but he still struggles to score consistently. So help us understand Rishabh Pant's game here. What exactly does he need to do now?
There are two parts to this, Virat Kohli and Rishabh Pant. Virat Kohli is a very capable batsman. Nothing has gone wrong with him. He got 100, he got 36. But it's the mental aspect. He knows how to judge outside the off stump. He knows that. And he has done it very well before. But it's a mental aspect. Suddenly that concentration goes. And that's where we look whether his priorities have changed. That's the challenge. But where Rishabh Pant is concerned, I think there's a lot of ego play also involved. Like you correctly said, he's a complete batsman. He has everything with him. Plus, he's got a lot of innovation. And when it comes off, it looks brilliant. But then now we'll have to start questioning his choice of strokes. Does his ball selection, is it good enough? Is he there in the game? Does he know what is happening? Sometimes, situational analysis is very useful, especially for a batsman at that level. And Pant being so talented, he can defend, he can hit, he can go after the bowling, and he has to use all these weapons at the right time. He uses it at the wrong time. I mean, today was a trap. I mean, you bring in a second string bowler and you have your best fielder there at the deep mid wicket. I mean, it was a trap and you fell for it. Why did you fall for it? Maybe it was so. You thought you could still clear it, irrespective of who it was. There was a 6 foot 3 inch or 6 foot 4 inch.
And what's more frustrating with him is the fact that he played out the entire post-lunch session. He had that. He resisted the attacking mindset for an entire session, and then straight after tea, when he just had to bat 10 more overs to at least ensure a draw, he fell for it. Now, Chandresh, a couple of minutes left on the broadcast, and before I come to you, let's listen to what Rohit Sharma had to say after the press after the match.
But mentally, look, it is disturbing without a doubt. If you've come here and you want to come here and try and do successfully what you're supposed to, and if those things don't fall in place, that is a big disappointment. But as of now, that is where it is, and there are things that we as a team need to look at. I personally need to look at as well. So we'll try and see what happens. There's still a game to go, and if we can play that game well, it's 2-all. So a draw will be really nice.
All right, so there you heard it. Chandresh, 30 seconds left on the broadcast. You just heard Rohit Sharma there. Not exactly how he talks to the media, not his chirpy self. Are you expecting a big call at the end of the series?
No, I am expecting a call only at the end of Champions Trophy. Because remember, the next test series is in June. Who knows what's going to happen between January and June? The world can change between January and June. And the Indian cricket, the way it operates is that now this is done, put it to sleep, everybody will forget. You get IPL for 3 months, you get Champions Trophy, give a bit of white ball cricket, whole of India will forget red ball cricket for 6 months. Nobody is going to remember what happened in Australia and what happened against New Zealand, because we'll look for the next villain during the Champions Trophy. So everything will be forgotten.
Absolutely. Right. The classic short-term memory of an Indian cricket fan. And of course, Rohit Sharma, 67, 68 test matches, an average of just over 40. I don't think, I'm not sure what really will change in the next 6 months. Right. We'll, of course, keep discussing that and hoping for the best in Sydney as well, hoping that we retain the Border Gavaskar trophy. And somehow the mathematics, it usually doesn't, but it works out in our favor and we make it to the World Test Championship final. Gentlemen, appreciate you joining us on the broadcast.